it behoves on us, the National Assembly, to give direction.
Senate decries undemocratic acts in states, push for fairness in conduct of local government council elections. Federal government strengthens mental health care, launches policy documents, inaugurates National Task Force on Stopping Attempted Suicide. TUC wants government to allow alternative sourcing of petrol by marketers pending local refineries capacity to meet country's demand. Hello and welcome to the news at 11 on Nta News24. We're live in Abuja. I'm Nancy Godi Angonihu. The news in full. Senate is making a push to ensure fairness and the conduct of local government councils election as legislators decried what is now obtainable across states as a mockery of the rule of law. Senate is therefore proposing a national dialogue involving stakeholders from across the states of the Federation to correct prevalent anomalies where outcomes do not reflect the will of the electorate. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
It's a national calamity. It's a democratic calamity. I don't know what those people that fought to bring about democracy in this country are feeling, the way they are feeling now.
It raises the issue of the independence of the state judiciary. Because if they were alive to their responsibilities and they are able to void an election conducted, the results were out many days before, then there will be no problem.
In as much that there's no punitive measure, they will continue to impose the chairman and they will still get a way around it to be able to siphon the money. All these things about local government elections, about local government fund.
The bipartisan outpour of disappointment in the Red Chamber was precipitated by a motion from the minority leader and other senators from Benue State who allege abuse of election process in the recent council's poll.
While the electors excitedly trooped out in their numbers to exercise their franchise to elect leaders who will represent their will at the local councils, they waited for hours in vain, as neither electoral materials nor electoral officers showed up.
Collectively, we shall find a way towards resolving this heinous political crime that is being committed at the subnational levels.
The truth is, this is going to be a serious and difficult issue to resolve. National Assembly alone, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, cannot resolve this.
INEC be empowered to conduct this election is because there should be expectation. It will be far, far better off than what we are witnessing.
We're in charge of the laws, and we know what the problem is. If indeed local government election results are written 2-3 days before the elections are purportedly held, it behoves on us, the National Assembly, to give direction.
As a corrective step, Senate adopted a resolution urging federal government to deny allocations to local governments when it is established that chairmen there were not elected but selected. Plenary featured the passing at second reading bills to establish health and tertiary institutions in Adamawa, Anambra and Imo states.
The National Eye Center, Jimeta, when established, will help prevent and treat eye disease.
This bill seeks to provide for a conversion of Mwafo Orizu College of Education into Federal University of Education. The objectives of the proposed university, Okigwe, include to provide higher education for all qualified JAM candidates.
Senate has passed the Federal Medical Centers Amendment Bill seeking the establishment of such centers in Edo, Oyo, and Imo States, which was forwarded from the House for concurrence.
Is informed by the need to bridge the existing gap between primary, secondary healthcare and tertiary healthcare delivery in Nigeria.
Senate has confirmed the appointments of Professor Abdullahi Saleh as Chairman, National Hajj Commission, and Dr. Badamasi Lawal as National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer of the National Social Investment Program Agency from the National Assembly, Lami Ali, Nta News.
A 16-year-old Isabel and Nani are female students. On Thursday, presided as shadow speaker over a special plenary session of the House of Representatives to commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child, which is observed every October 11. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Imen reports that the lawmakers passed resolutions to promote the welfare of the girl child and curb the menace of out-of-school children in Nigeria.
I advocate for you.
Speaker Tajuddin Abbas vacates his seat to allow Miss Isabel Anani act as shadow speaker, an initiative to honor the girl child. It's the first time a non-member will take charge of plenary, and the pro tem speaker did not disappoint.
I want a future where the healthcare system for girls isn't discriminated against due to socio-cultural factors that so wrongfully exist. Girls are breaking boundaries, regardless of the stereotypes and exclusion.
Ensure the swift passage of bills that seek to protect women and girls.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Isabel was chosen for this prestigious role after emerging first among candidates across Nigeria as part of our effort to empower young leaders.
Adopting other motions, lawmakers advocate better welfare for teachers and the expansion of the nation's tax base.
Urge the federal government to consider alternative revenue generation strategies such as widening the tax to capture more high-income earners.
Urge the federal government of Nigeria, the state government, and other stakeholders in the education sector to address without delay the plight of teachers in Nigeria.
The House sought relief for flood victims as well as preventive measures.
Urge the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation to reassess, fortify, and reconstruct the Alo Dam to forestall any future occurrence of floods.
To mandate the Federal Ministry of Housing, Rural Development and Urban Development to ensure the rehabilitation in collapsed houses and roads in Ikko local government and the South local government.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Disability has been given a 4-week deadline to investigate public building plans without adequate access for persons with disability and make recommendations for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, Nta News.
After 41 years as a student of the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu returns to her alma mater to inaugurate the 3 key infrastructural projects. Status correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports that the projects executed by the Oni of Ife to herald his 50th birthday celebration are now to serve as a springboard for infrastructural renewal of the great institution.
Once upon a time, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu was a student at this great citadel. Just like the biblical triumphant entry, now she returns to her alma mater 41 years after, a heroine with monuments to her name. First is a 2.7-kilometer Senator Oluremi Tinubu Way, built by the Ooni of Ife, Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi, to support infrastructural development on the campus, followed by ultramodern male and female Ojaja hostels and Senator Oluremi Pavilion. The inauguration of the project is part of activities heralding the 50th birthday celebration of the traditional ruler, and the First Lady is full of appreciation to the monarch.
50 years is not just a marker of time, but a testament of wisdom and leadership. The deep-rooted love that you have shown for your people and kingdom since your ascension to the throne is heartwarming and commendable. Roads have always been a symbol of progress, which opens up pathways to safety and economic growth. It is my hope that this road will become a valuable asset for the university and facilitate easy access for the students and the entire university community. The significance of continuous infrastructure renewal cannot be overemphasized in creating a conducive academic environment. I appreciate the leadership of the university for making this day a reality.
The University of Ife I attended was beautiful, says the First Lady, with nostalgia as she called on stakeholders to support the government in providing infrastructure to the education sector.
It's not to renovate buildings, but just for the general ambience of the horticultural landscape. Because what we see, and one courtesy will supervise it, will sit on it, but will make 1 billion available through the Renewed Hope Initiative.
The Ooni of Ife, Oba Ogunwusi, was not sparing in his appreciation of the First Lady for her accomplishment in human capital development and as a dependable pillar of support to the President.
Thank you as a mother, thank you as a wife, thank you as a teacher, and thank you as a mother to all of us, our dear country, Nigeria.
Our role plays womanhood as the center of governance and propelled the frontline recognition granted to wives of governors since then. We are really proud of you. And we are always very happy to be appreciated with your numerous accomplishments, including this one.
The First Lady was earlier at the Arole Odua Palace of the Ooni, where she reaffirmed the resolve of President Bola Tinubu not to disappoint Nigerians in their desire for sustainable development. From Ile-Ife, Adeni Itaiwo, Nta News.
The Court of Appeal has dismissed an appeal brought before it by Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara seeking to remove 27 members of the State House of Assembly on account of their defection from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the All Progressives Congress APC. Justice Joseph Olubunmi Kayode Oyewole, who delivered the lead judgment, held that the governor, having withdrawn from the case, cannot claim to be aggrieved with the judgment of the Federal High Court. The court maintained that Governor Fubara has no basis to bring out the appeal, having withdrawn his opposition to the case of the pro-Wike lawmakers at the Federal High Court. Consequently, the Court of Appeal barred Governor Fubara from intervening with affairs of the House of Assembly. The Appellate Court also barred the state governor from withholding the House of Assembly fund and removing the clerk and deputy clerk from the House. In addition, the court ordered him to represent the budget of the state to the House under the recognized Speaker as contained in the judgment of Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court. He therefore voided and set aside the passage of the 2024 budget by 4 out of 32 members of the ground of illegality that must not be allowed in a democratic setting. Governor Fubara has the right to appeal of this matter. Governor Fubara has the right of appeal on this matter to the Supreme Court. We take a break now. We come back with more reports. Stay with us.
My administration took over leadership of our country 16 months ago at a critical juncture. The economy faced many headwinds and our physical security highly impaired. We found ourselves at a distant crossroad where we must choose between two paths: reform for progress and prosperity, or carry on the business as usual and collapse. We decided to reform our political economy and defense architecture.
is NTA News 24.
Thank you for staying with us. As petrol stations commence dispensing fuel with the latest pump prices in Abuja, motorists want protection to mitigate unrealistic price hike by some petrol stations. Lydia Sampson reports.
We're at one of the filling stations here in Abuja, and as you can see, a litre is being sold at 1,080 naira. For now, petrol is sold at cost-reflective price. For most motorists, the pump price increase is a painful reality, adding to their economic predicament. Others believe with patience, the challenges will gradually fizzle out.
I've joined the queue, get to the fuel pump. They said the company's POS machine is not working. I have to go outside to buy cash on my presence. Well, after I give them, they now go back to the back door and sell it again to private POS operators.
Some fleets are selling 1,200, 1,300, 1,400.
They keep increasing the price on a daily basis.
We should calm down. Things are hard, we know. To buy fuel per price of 1,015 naira is not easy. But we should be patient.
The problem might be corruption. If you increase it, yet in the filling station you don't see the product. But I want to let Nigerians know that within West Africa and in Africa, there's no country where their price of fuel is less than that of Nigeria. No, presently, with the president rate.
President, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association says there are issues that must be navigated for a successful open oil market.
We have over 15 billion naira with NNPC retail. And they say we have to come and complete the money to the new rate. So that is the reason why we said, okay, if you cannot be able to give us this product at a normal rate, then automatically then you send our money back to our accounts so that we can be able to see we buy it through Dangote.
At the time of filing in this report, NNPC Limited was not available for comment. For now, while stations with products are dispensing, motorists are keeping their fingers crossed and keeping hope alive. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, Nta News.
The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, wants the government to allow petroleum marketers to source for petrol from other places until local refineries' capacity can meet the country's demand. President of the union, Festus Osifo, made this suggestion at a press conference in response to the current petrol crisis in the country. Joseph Otsen reports.
This conference comes on the heels of current increase of the price of petrol and perennial queues at the filling stations. President Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, takes time to analyze the three key elements of energy security, that is, availability, accessibility, and affordability.
So, if what we need as a country per day is 35 million liters, and what is shipped out from Dangote refinery is average, because at times you have 8.55 million liters. But this is not sufficient. As we are ramping up production, the difference, we should source for that difference and bring it in for a while.
The union blames the continuous increase in price of goods and petroleum products in the country to devaluation of the naira and advises government to do everything possible to strengthen the nation's currency.
If the sector is fully deregulated and our exchange rate is 1,200 naira to $1, PMS today will be selling for below 700 naira.
Also speaking on the petrol crisis is the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joseph Ajoro. He says the persistent increase in petrol price calls for attention of all stakeholders.
When the labor movement goes, assuming we get 1 naira or 2 naira or no naira, it does not equally translate to 1 naira or 2 naira to other citizens of this country. Now, this is why there should be a collective response to it.
The organized labor also raises concern over silence from most of the state governments on implementation of the new national minimum wage and consequential adjustments on salaries as done at the federal level. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The training week of staff of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, is underway in Abuja. Garbanata Ala reports that the training aims at repositioning NTA to effectively carry out its mandate and improve service delivery to the nation.
The 2024 Customer Week theme is above and beyond, and Servicom, as implied, stands as Service Compact, an initiative established by the federal government to ensure the quality of service to its ministries, departments and agencies. And NTA is not an exception. The presidency now further came up with the training to review and discuss effective ways to improve service delivery through networking of nodal officers, as well as emphasizing the role of civil service in effective service delivery.
Make sure that services are rendered timely, professionally, efficiently to the customers.
Representing NTA's Executive Director Training, Chinyere Kalu is optimistic that staff attending will have opportunity of reassessing collective performance and work out ways to achieve the best. Participants are expected to turn a new leaf in their operations and per the service charter.
We receive complaints and we resolve it. Most times, if the complaints are for directorate, we escalate, interact with the respective directorate and get the answers and response. And also we call the complainants and make sure that the issue is settled.
We have a complaints book that sometimes they come, they put it down, and we resolve it, we work from there.
I have learned now that we should serve the public in a very good way.
We learn so many things, and it's all about improving our services delivery.
Measures adopted to promote service delivery include to institutionalize a culture of continuous performance improvement. In Abuja, Garab Muhammad Ta'ala, NTA News.
The coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, says federal government has launched a review of policy documents known as the Mental Health Gap Action Program version 3.0 to address gaps in Nigeria's mental health treatment and human resources development. Oluseyi Adeabo reports that this was his message at an event to commemorate 2024 World Mental Health Day and the inauguration of a national task force on decriminalization of attempted suicide.
October 10 every year, the global community marks World Mental Health Day, and the essence is to raise awareness on mental health issues. In World Health Organization WHO's 2022 report on mental health statistics, 1 in every 8 people globally lives with mental disorder, as suicide remains a huge public issue among the leading causes of death between ages 15 and 29. In some climes, these health conditions have been neglected and remain stigmatized.
Society, and to the glory of God and mankind, we launch this intervention guide.
The 2024 World Mental Health Day is themed Healthy Minds at Work, prioritizing mental health in the workplace, and leadership of Nigeria health sector, including partners, are speaking on existing national programs and actions to promote mental health.
And by prioritizing mental health in the workplace, we can improve the well-being of our citizens and the performance of our economy. We must work together to promote mental health awareness and ensure that everyone in Nigeria has access to the care they need.
We all tend to concentrate on productivity, but the truth is that productivity cannot be achieved if you do not see mental health as part of the health ramifications of the health workforce.
In Abuja, Oluseyi Adeabo, NTA News.
And with that report, we conclude the news on at 11 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Nancy Godi Angonihu. Bye.